Hi. Hello, Jeannie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm good now that everyone can hear me. We've had a little bit of fun with our connection today. Yes, yeah, I can hear you really good.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Now, do you want me to go through a little bit that I picked up for you?
Yeah.
Or did you have something specific you wanted to ask me? Because we are a little bit short on time. I don't want to have to miss something for you.
I thought maybe you would have some insight on something that come through.
Yep. There was an element that I picked up around study. Is there something that you've been thinking of doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the first thing that came up for you that I've written down here, study, something new that you've been thinking of doing already. And I also felt like there was a mother figure in spirit watching over you. I really got strongly a lady coming through for you.
Really?
Yeah. There was a reference with her. Yeah. You've got a few up there in spirit. There's a few in the family. And I feel like these, I want to say, like on your mother's side. There was I'll just share what I picked up. There was a reference to white roses and a sea name. It was almost like, there was something that sounded like a sea. And it's like she hangs out with you. So I really felt that you would have had a strong connection with her, and possibly when you were younger. So have a think about that. But normally they'll fit somewhere. Sometimes it's not always apparent straight away.
No, it's not. It's not coming right now, but...
Yeah. No, that's fine. So what was your question for me?
I was wondering about direction in life.
Yeah. So does the study, because it's like there's a different energy that's come around for you as well at the moment, and I know with all our moons and things happening, everyone's feeling a little bit rattled with making decisions moving forward. But there's a couple of decisions you've been weighing up that you're ready to kind of make changes on, but you haven't done so yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck with which direction to go right now.
Yeah, okay. So with the two, can I ask, because I feel like with you there's two options. Would that be correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because it's like one is following your heart a bit more than the other, but it's like your logical mind is saying, no, maybe I should go the other way because logically everything ticks the boxes. And I have to say my feeling on it, or what I'm shown, is it's the one that stirs your heart up.
The heart.
And is this regarding moving as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's an element of movement. And I want to say to you, don't fear that. You know, like sometimes we can get a bit in our head overthinking things, because I feel like there's an element where you might be overthinking and that's stopping you making that decision.
Yeah.
So follow your heart, because it's time now. You're in alignment. There's like the study that I was shown isn't necessarily long study, but there's something else that you've always wanted to do that with this movement will allow you to be able to do that. Okay, I want to say around you there's in the right place at the right time. So it's a little bit like that decision that you make with the movement will bring through the opportunities where you will go, yeah, that's what I've always wanted to do, a little bit more study, and actually that will facilitate your change in direction.
Okay, that's what I would need. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
stuck with that.
Yeah, and it is exciting, Jeannie. So don't. You know, I know change is often, and I feel like, have you been where you are for a long time?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So it's like, because they're showing me it's a big thing. Like, it's not just something that that you would just take lightly. It's a big shift for you, but it's going to bring in some great things. Are you going to be looking at well, is one of the options closer to family or around other people that you know?
Actually, to get away from them.
I get that.
Get away from them.
But do you have friends or connections in one of the areas that you're looking?
No.
No? Okay.
No,
there you go.
No, I don't.
Well, maybe that's about making new connections, because I just feel like it's fresh, but it's fun. There's a lot of sense of fun. And, well, I want to say to you, with what I was shown, it's like it will feel like home. So I feel like when you look at the options, you'll go to one of the places and go, that's home to me. That feels good.
That's home is where your heart is, right?
It is, exactly. And it's time to honour your heart now.
Something I've never done.
Okay. Well, good on you for having the nous to get up there and do it now. And I have to say, I have to pat you on the back to say it's a big move, but your trust and your faith is really going to be what helps you go forward and do what you need to do for you rather than for everybody else.
Yeah. So I need to continue my studies.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got some really cool stuff.
Get the courage to just jump.
Yes, and you will. It's kind of like I would describe what you're going through or having been through over the last few months is an awakening. And, it's like once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep. So for you, this is about honouring yourself, and it's about the study, doing what you love to do, and the area that you move to will be where you love to be.
Okay.
Okay, and the universe is going to answer with yes, yes, and yes for that. So I always get shown that as a really good sign. You will not look back.
Okay.
Okay, so don't hesitate to honour doing what is right for you.
Okay.
It's time, sister. It's a whole new path for you. It's really exciting. So get a bit excited too, Jeannie, I have to say. Okay?
Yeah, it's something I've been throwing around in my head for quite a while.
Yeah, do it. They're saying, do
Go
it.
for it.
Go for it. Absolutely. You will not look back, I promise you. Please keep in touch and let me know. I love to hear the stories of that.
Okay. Well,
you're going to be an inspiration for others.
Yeah.
Okay, I must wrap up now. They're giving me that I've talked enough. Please don't hesitate to message me on my Facebook page.
I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Please keep us posted on how you go.
Okay, thank you, dear.
Take care. Okay, that's about a wrap for me with my dodgy internet connection today. Yay! We made it. Dave, the producer, will be pretty excited. We got our show done. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Signing out from here in Australia, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl. Thank you for listening. Yay!
Hi guys, welcome to the Meeting Garuda show on A1R Psychic Radio. My guides and spirits always show me the past, the present and the future. In my opinion, everybody deserves their own happiness. Many life situations that I see in my job as a medium do not fit the life some people lead. I also am confident about the fact that many people who act negative in life actually are positive. But due to several painful and restless circumstances in their lives, people get frustrated, influenced, and express negative behavior, especially sometimes towards other people. There are so many different people here on Earth. Think about the fact that every energy is completely unique. There will never be two exact the same energies ever. It is the behavior of certain energies that can have many similarities, or the result of being a kind of energy may result in the same behavior. But what I'm trying to say is, you definitely will need to live your own life. Everybody has dreams, so that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. But everybody is different. So everybody experiences their dreams in their own way. For example, if you are in a relationship, following your dreams will not automatically result in the fact that if you choose for your dreams, you will lose everything or you will need to leave everything behind. So if you read between the lines, it is fear that's holding you back. People are afraid to lose connections by choosing for themselves. Is that logical? Well, yes. It is easy to advise what to do in life, and many people already know what they would like to do, but it is too difficult to put it into practice sometimes. Again, the fear is responsible for this choice, to stay in your current situation. So, you have a choice, of course, but is the resistance in your current situation big enough to change your point of view? Mostly, that's the point in your life where you will need to change. Because people wait to a specific point in their lives, this change can result in a major adjustments you will need to do in your current situation. So, therefore, I definitely advise to act preventive. I mean, try to follow your dreams as soon as possible to avoid difficulties by waiting. And that's what I love about my job. I do not only give you predictions, but I also motivate and inspire you to achieve your goals. Many people just underestimate themselves and do not realize of what they're capable of. Everybody has the right of their personal happiness. You only live once in this lifetime. You should get everything out of it, what's in there. And do not say right now, there is nothing in there for me, or I do not deserve to be happy, or I can do it, and so on. Do not take this wrong, because what I want to say is that I fully understand your position. But give yourself a challenge, and try to think for yourself. Giving up is no option. And what I always say in the Dutch language, cannot do is dead, and is lying next to don't want to do. So you always have a choice. And you will only experience your strength and capacities by going through some heavy times, of which you've underestimated. Because look back to your past. There are many people with experiences that if they knew in advance about what they had to go through, they had made another choice. Some things just happen to us, we cannot avoid that. But you will be able to use this negativity to help yourself. That were many words for you just to say you may follow your dreams. They are there to give you the signal you can achieve them. Don't be disappointed when you feel you fail to get to your dreams. It is not an easy road to travel, of course, but the things you do out of your heart are never easy roads to travel. That's because you feel yourself traveling towards your dreams. You experience this process close to yourself instead of from a distance, from your head. Go in there and show everybody what your dreams are. be proud of yourself. Because I definitely am confident everybody can have the choice and can follow their dreams. But it always depends on your situation where you're into right now. That's about the resistance, what I was talking about. But let's switch over to my energy and let's tune into some other energy, because I see we have a caller. It's Gloria from Duncan, Oklahoma. Good evening, Gloria. Hello, Gloria.
Hello, yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I can barely hear you, though.
Can you hear me correctly?
No, I really can't. You sound like you're in a bucket.
So, do you have a question for me, or do you want me to look general at your position?
No, go ahead and tell me what you know.
Okay, let's find out something about you, what my spirits can tell me. What I feel is that you're a really spiritual person. You're very highly sensitive. That's the first thing that comes up to me right now. I also feel some resistance in your life at the moment. You're kind of stuck at the moment, because I feel some tears in my eyes. So they indicate me that you face some difficulties and some sadness right now in your position. Let's see. I see some love life at your side, but I'm definitely not sure you are very happy at the moment, or you're very confident with yourself at this moment. And you have a relationship right now, or is there somebody in your present who is close to you?
Yes.
Yes. So what I feel about your position right now is that you're a little bit holding yourself back at the moment. It's like you're not really self-confident in moving on in your relationship. It's not only your relationship, but it's also it also affects some career point. It also affects generally your personality. So you have a very strong personality, very positive and kind personality. That's your spirituality. But I feel there is a lot of doubt to move on with yourself. So I feel you are looking at your goals, and there are also no things really holding you back right now. But you're a little bit insecure and uncertain, and that is holding you back a little bit. That's the break on your life right now. Because I see there is a lot of positivity in your future. In your past, I just see some equal area. So that means to me, you have been through your past. There is nothing that is resulting for you in negativity. There's nothing attached to you from your past. So you feel to me quite strong, but not really confident. And because of that, you're not really moving on. About moving on, are you planning to move location?
Eventually, yes.
Yeah, because I feel there is a change in your living environment. And I feel there is some, I get the confirmation from my spiritual guides, because they give me the goosebumps, and then I know it's correct. Because the movement I see another location for you guys. But I feel some difficulties, I feel some sadness. I think that's also the point that's holding you back a little bit, because you really would like to move on, but you're just doubting about both of your capacities. Is it the right decision we make? Is it right for us? Is the timing correctly? Don't we lose everything? Do we manage this financially? There's a lot of sorrow in your mind, but I also feel some stress high in my chest when I tune into your energy. So that means to me, you're not really living out of your heart at the moment. You are a very intuitive person, so you feel correctly with your heart what you would like to achieve, but you're doubting, and that's because you're a little bit afraid. And if you're afraid, it is fear, and that's your head who is trying to guide you, actually trying to misguide you. Because I definitely see your relocation. It is not really a complete different area which I see. I see a complete different environment, yes, so there is another house for you. I feel it would be a house in a small town area. There is some green and some dry surface around this house. So I interpreted it as dry sand or something. There's not much humidity in that area where you're going to move. But I feel you're really connecting with both feet on the ground. So you really will be feeling much better in your new location. I also feel that your connection with the person you have on your side will be much better. It will improve. I also see some finances which will improve. So that means to me, like your something about your income will improve, because I see a monthly increase of your of your money. So your finances will be much better at that location. So just don't doubt about your capacities, don't doubt about yourself, and try to be as a team, because I don't feel the connection correctly between you and your partner. So I feel his energy, but it's not like you are living together at the moment, so to speak.
Right.
But it feels completely positive. So it's not negative what I'm telling you. It's just you have to work to some point, and working to that point, that means you are getting stronger. And that means you are getting back your strength. Because it feels to me in this situation where you're living right now, like you're not really yourself. So that's why you feel kind of insecure, because I don't feel that's, it's not quite normal to you, because you are a very secure person. You really know what you're made of. You know your capacities. You are very spiritual. You are very sensitive, and you trust your energy completely. But right now you're a little bit focusing on things which are in your mind, and that results in some kind of fear and doubts. You have some hope, you hope things will be all right, but you're doubting a little bit, will everything be all right? Well, I just want to advise you, try to relax in this situation, try to overcome this, and try to accept that you may receive a gift. You may receive now things instead of giving, because you are a very highly sensitive person and you always want to make people happy. But now it's your time. You need to make yourself happy, and this is your time. The timing is completely perfect to me.
That's true.
So that's perfect. Perfect news. That's the most important thing for you to move on. I also see some new social contacts, so that means I see some family and friends which will move with you. So that means you will take your contacts also to your new location. You will not lose any people. The people who are with you right now, they are okay, because what I feel is that you, some time ago, you let go a lot of people. So that means there is a lot of jealousy that was in your surrounding, in your area, but now it is not there anymore because you left it behind. And now it's time to move in the right position, being yourself completely with good connections with your family and friends. I don't see really a very big social life in your environment, but what you have right now, it is really valuable, and they are really connected to you both. So they really love you and you love those people, and it is okay to relocate, it is okay to move. So you don't need to feel abandoned or something because of the pain, because it feels to me like you've been in your current location for some time, and it is kind of changed to relocate for you.
Alrighty.
So I hope I've answered your question, because I also need to go to our next caller.
Okay.
So I wish you a very pleasant evening, and I wish you all the luck and all the best, of course, and you can do it.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, and you have a great evening, too.
Thank you very much. You too. Bye-bye. So our next caller is Patty from British Columbia. Good evening, Patty.
Hi.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. How may I help you, Patty?
Oh, I was just wondering if what you picked up, if you could connect with my mom?
Yes, I will check for you. Yeah, okay, I get the goosebumps already, so that means your mom is very, very close to us at the moment. That's not very often happening because we always want to create a connection, or does the spirit want a connection with us? But this one feels really connected. Your mom is really a mother person. It's a very sweet lady.
Mm-hmm.
But what I feel to this mother is there is a lot of resistance it was in her life. Let's see because I also close my eyes quite often right now. So that means there are a lot of things on earth she wanted to close her eyes for. She didn't want to see it or to experience it. Your mother is a very highly sensitive energy, and she is very sensitive for influences from outside. So that means if something happens in her environment, that was very painful for her to overcome. Your mother gives me also a lot of heat, so I get a lot of sweaty hands, and my forehead is sweaty from your mother. Did your mother pass away? Because I don't feel any signals in my body, because your mother doesn't show me a kind of a pain or a situation what took her to the other side.
She did pass away in 2011.
But the only thing I feel is I have a lot of pain in the environment of my kidneys, in my stomach. So there I feel some pain. So it feels to me she had some illness. She was sick, but it didn't take a long time. She was sick. She was sick for a long time. That's what I mean.
Yeah, she went into the hospital and passed away within a month from bone marrow cancer.
Yeah, so I feel that's a little bit the pain, but the pain is not very strong. So it means to me your mother was not suffering really from a lot of pain. She, in my opinion, she just passed away. I feel a lot of pressure in my head also, but I think that's the oxygen which disappeared, and that's why she was dropping, she was passing away. There is a connection between the both of you, but I also feel some resistance between the both of you. So there is something what's in between the both of you, and I also feel like the connection you both have is you both really wanted to have a close connection, but on both parties, on you and on your mother, some things were holding yourself back.
We were holding something back between us?
Yeah, I feel that the connection the both of you have used to be, it should have been better. It should have been a tighter connection. I see the connection between the both of you is okay because you really want to be connected together, but I feel there is something missing between the both of you. There is some communication missing between the both of you. It is like she passed away with unspoken words. So she definitely wanted to inform you about some specific feelings she had for you, because it really comes out very difficult at my side. And that's because your mother is not really good talking about her emotions. So she doesn't, she is, I'm blocking and I'm also struggling on my words. So that means she cannot talk about her sensitivity, about her emotions, about the love for the people. It is really static, so to speak. But what I need to say to you from your mother is that she really loves you and she is really close to you, because she is at your back at the moment, so behind your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I also see
feel her.
You feel her.
I do feel her. When she's around me, I feel her, and I feel like there's a star I see in the sky, and I know that that's her.
Yeah. And when you sometimes get on specific places on your face or on your shoulder goosebumps or some feelings that you think, hey, what's that? that is your mother, because she's touching you. She really loves you, and she really wants to express her love to you, because that is what she didn't do a lot in her life.
Mm-hmm. I do feel that. I feel the goosebumps a lot.
Yeah. So that's perfect, because that's a really good connection between you and your mother. You can connect with the dead people, so that means to me you're also very spiritual. And I feel sometimes when you have some heavy headache, just a little bit, that is when you are connected with the other side. But I also see that her father also passed away, so your grandfather from mother's side.
My grandfather?
Yeah, from mother's side. He is also at the other side?
Yes.
Yeah, because I see his appearance with your mother. So your mother is with her father.
Oh, good.
So that means to me, what's really important to mention is, she is safe.
Oh, good.
So her father is with her. Her energy is really compatible with her father, because those two are quite the same. She's really a father's baby. And her father is very proud of your mother, and her father is also very happy that he is in her environment and he is with her, because your grandfather, he is with you, but your mother is standing between you and your grandfather. So your mother is now in the position where your grandfather was several years ago when your mother was still alive.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I also something about your father, because your father's energy is also coming heavily quite into me right now. So there's also your father is still around at the moment.
Yeah, he's still around here. He's alive.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel his energy quite good. You are a father's child also. So you have a similarity with your mother, because your mother shows me she's very proud of her daddy. That's her hero. And you have your father. You can lean on your father. You can use your father to heal yourself more, because you are quite sensitive. You're really sensitive from influences from outside. But you really can deal in a correct way with it, but sometimes it's holding you back a little bit. But don't doubt about your capacities, because you have a lot of strength in yourself. You have a lot of experiences in your past, which is now life experience for you. It was negativity, but now you can use it in a positive way. And your father's, he appears to me quite dominant, a little bit quite a dominant energy. So that means it is an energy who really knows what he wants. He is not negatively dominant. That's not what I mean. He's positive, but he can, when he wants something, that's very strong.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have the same energy. Try to copy that a little bit. What you really would like to achieve in your life right now, it is there, and you can achieve it. So it is strong in your appearance. Your mother is guiding you right now from the other side. Your father is here on earth, so your father is helping you in a literal way, and your mother is helping you in a spiritual way. So the only thing that changed between you and your mother is the way you communicate now. So normally you communicate by words, mother talks back to you, but now you need to communicate in a different way. So that's kind of, you need to adjust yourself to that position, but I really see you have accepted that. It's no problem to you right now. You have accepted that she is at the other side, but you really needed to know, is she safe? Is she happy? Is she with me? Is she proud of me? Am I doing right? So everything I can answer that positive. Because she is proud of you. She puts both arms around you many times, because that's the way you feel the goosebumps. You feel something is touching you, but there is nothing behind you or around you.
Yes. Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank you.
Yeah. So be proud of yourself, be proud of your mother and your grandfather, and keep a close connection with your father. He needs that, because I feel a lot of sadness with your father, so that means he misses you in some kind of way. So keep a close connection with him. And, well, I really would like to say thousands of words more to you, to guide you, but the time is up right now, so I have to close our connection.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, thank you so much too for calling in and for your trust in the reading for me. I wish you a very great evening.
Same to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I really would like to thank the listeners worldwide. Be there on my next show. And let's tune in on the next 2 energies on my next show. I hope you really enjoyed this one. And I really would like to say bye-bye.
To A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV. You're here with Amanda Hall Psychic, all the way from the Gold Coast here in Australia. We're having an absolutely beautiful, perfect winter's day here. It's about 20 degrees. For those of you that are in the old-fashioned sort of, it's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's actually a very pleasant day for winter. It was really chilly this morning. But before we kick the show off, I'd really like to ask everybody to hold hands, say a little prayer, give a moment's reflection for the poor people in Greece that have lost so many of their family members, plus their homes, all their treasures, the things that are important to them with those terrible fires that were there. I can't begin to imagine the terrible sense of loss and bewilderment of where do they go from here. And it's more about the loss of life than it is about the material things, but also equally as important is our treasured memories, the things that make us the human being that we are. And we can't forget our friends in California either, with the fires raging there also. There's been loss of life there too. There's also been, many homes that have been lost. It's really a difficult period when people are facing such tragedy, to understand how they're going to come back from this and why is this important. Look, I don't have the answers. Many astrologers have written that, there's weather events around eclipses. Look, I don't know that that's necessarily right, wrong or indifferent. All as I know is weather events and tragedies happen all year round. They don't just happen around a particular astrological event. And I think we need to remember that we are human. We all live in a world that things could be taken away from us at a moment's notice. So please really connect with the people that are important to you today and every day. Don't leave it until it's too late. Don't leave it until you don't have that opportunity. I live by the motto, live today as if today is the last day of your life and make it the best one that you possibly can. So having said that, it's a very interesting card that I drew this morning as here in Australia, because it's daytime, for the card of the week. And it's the Simply Tarot card of the week, and it's the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups is happy home and childhood memories. And I feel that that's a very apt card considering what we've just been talking about with the fires and tragedies around the world. Let's all of us take a moment to be very, very thankful for the happy home that we do have and our childhood memories and the things that are very important to us that make us the person that we are. It's really interesting. Each week we sort of focus on a little bit about what's happening in the universe. And this week it's been a very busy week in the universe. My inbox has been overflowing, if that's possible, with cyber technology these days. But people sort of saying to me, Amanda, I don't understand why I'm feeling so titchy. I know we've had a full moon. I know we've had a lunar eclipse. I know we had the blood moon. I know this, I know that. But why? But why am I feeling like this? Why is so much old stuff coming into my head? Things that I thought I'd dealt with and I'd let go of, but why? Well, the but why part is all eclipses are usually, in my opinion, a time of mammoth change in our lives. Now, whether that's a physical change, whether it's an emotional change, or whether it's a releasing change, it's usually a marker in time for something that we need to process, look at, deal with, let go of, or even just understand. So with the fact that we had such a powerful full moon, and here in Australia it was one of the most powerful lunar eclipses for the next 120 or 30 years. So it was a time everybody was out with their cameras, and it was very close to early morning here when the eclipse happened, and it was a blood moon, and the moon was very pretty, but it was actually a smaller full moon than we normally experience. So it's an interesting sort of concept. On one hand, it was an extremely powerful moon, and on the other hand, it was the smallest of the full moons that we're going to have for a very long time. So take your pick. I think it's somewhere in the middle of all that we find our own truth. And I feel also too, at this time of the year, when we get to just over that halfway point, I think we are all as human beings usually reevaluating, organising ourselves, having a little bit of a rest and looking at what's ahead of us in the next few months as we make that charge towards the end of the year. And have we dealt with all the things that we put down on our list at the beginning of the year of our New Year's resolutions and our goals and our aspirations for the year? So a lot of us sort of find that it's that time of the year as well. And this year it just happens to be coinciding with all these lunar events and eclipses and, full moons and everything else. I think it's just take out of it what you need, deal with it the best way you can, and just remember, take 1 hour at a time. When you're feeling so emotionally overwhelmed, just break it down into much, much smaller pieces. As I spoke about last week on the show, we've got 5 or 6 planets going retrograde if you want to include Chiron in that. That's still the case, so things will still be a little bit titchy for the next couple of weeks. It's a big readjustment time. We've had some major shifts this year with Uranus moving into Taurus. That to me is more where we should be focusing on, because Uranus is like sort of the planet. It's a planet of the unusual and the unexpected. So Uranus comes in and tips everything upside down and says, well, how did you like that? You said to me you didn't like your job. Well, I got rid of it. Now you're complaining that you got the sack. Well, make up your mind. What did you want? So Uranus doesn't have a conscience. Uranus doesn't think about things. He answers your questions. If you say, I hate my job, he gets rid of it. If you say, I hate my car, he gets rid of it. You didn't tell him not to cause it in a way that was unpleasant to you. He just thought he was doing you a favour. So just be very careful at the moment what you're sending out to the universe as far as your wish list is concerned, even in anger or frustration. Be very careful of what you're voicing, because it may just reach Uranus's ears and he may just accommodate your wishes that you thought for that split second. For those of you that follow the show regularly, you'll know that we quite often talk about Mercury retrogrades. Now, Mercury is the planet of communication. Mercury does his little retrograde or backwards dance 3 times a year for approximately 3 weeks at a time. And I'm always talking about under these times, this is when we can have all the technical hiccups under the sun. Your mobile phone dies, your laptop goes haywire, nobody's got their listening ears on, people are sort of more aggressive and more uncomfortable around people than they usually are. They're short-tempered, they're not listening, they're snapping people's heads off when they're in conversation. It's a time to really, I think, be much, much more patient. And if you do have to sign something really important under this transit, which is, I think, from memory to about the 16th of August, make sure that you take it away, you read it out aloud, you read it a few times and go over it and make sure everything is where it should be. It's not the time to rush through things. I'm always very careful about sending things by mail or courier under a Mercury retrograde. I triple check all my addresses and things like that everything's correct, ensure it and hope for the best, because sometimes I think our mind just races too fast and we're in sort of a little bit of this foggy type brain that we might sort of put a wrong telephone number or a wrong street address or something like that, and things do get lost then. And it has been partly Mercury, but it's also been partly our own fault too, because we didn't really take the time to look at the actual correct address or the telephone number or whatever we were conveying. But this is not the time, if you're having relationship issues, to bring up that really tricky area in your relationship at the moment, because the other person may not be listening or may not absorb it or understand what you're trying to say. So I'm going to say to you, be very, very careful. If you've got to have really serious conversations or not the time to go and ask for the raise at work, things like that, leave it till after the 16th of the month. So this week, in our little series of things that we usually talk about, I do like to bring in a candle of the week. And this week, because we are in the energy of Leo, of course we're going to have our fire sign candle this week. And as you can see, I've dressed up for the occasion. I've got all my bling on because Leo likes to do things in a very exaggerated sort of way, in a blingy, positive sort of fashion. I've got my red jumper on and all my sparkles. So it's only fitting that we have the fire sign candle to represent Leo. This is one of my favourite candles, probably because I'm a fire sign, and when you open the lid, it's absolutely divine. It's strawberries and champagne. It's a beautiful smell. But the fire sign energy is about really sort of starting new projects. It's about roaring like a lion. It's about sort of taking your power back. It's about strutting your stuff. It's about walking out on centre stage and making yourself the person that everybody's focusing on. Now, when you work with a fire sign candle and you might want to bring in more focus or more energy or being able to sell yourself or promote yourself in some sort of way, make sure that you burn your candle between 5 minutes to about 2 hours a day. I like to burn one side of the wick one day and then the second side the next day. That gives me approximately 100 hours out of a candle instead of 60 hours. But also, more importantly, what it does for you is the fact that these are glass containers and they can get hot. The actual soy wax doesn't get hot, but the glass container itself can get hot. And sometimes with changes in temperature, I've noticed that they've cracked for no apparent reason. It's just, you know, the barometric pressure's changed. Always make sure when you're burning a candle that you put it on a coaster. You never put it directly on furniture or on always put it on a coaster or a saucer so that you know then that there's a little barrier between you and the material that it's sitting on. So what you do is you write your list of the things that you would like to bring into your life. If you're looking to sort of start a new job or start a new business or maybe want to get enough courage up to go in and ask the boss for that raise, then put this down on your list of the things that you hope to achieve while we're in this Leo energy. And look at the fact that, you know, I am really worthy of these things. I deserve it because. And I think it's important, particularly if we're using you want to go for a raise in your job, list the reasons why you deserve to get a raise in salary so that when the boss says to you, well, what do you think? Why do you think I should give you a raise? Well, then you can say, well, because I'm reliable, I'm this, I'm that and the other, I've been hardworking, I haven't had a raise in 2 years, I believe I give my job everything, you know, I'm very focused, I don't put my hand, you know, I don't write down the extra bits of overtime that I do unless it's a very lengthy period of time. List a few key points so that you sound very confident in your approach at the reasons why you do deserve to get that raise. Now, for those of you that might want a smaller candle, we have our travel pack. Now, the travel pack comes with 3 candles in this lovely gift box. It also gives you the flexibility then to be able to make up a pack of your choice. We have 28 candles in the range, so you don't have to pick 3 fire signs. You can pick 3 of what you like, any particular candle that you like, and they burn for about 15 minutes each. Same rules apply when you're working with a travel candle. That just gives you the flexibility of having something that's smaller that you can take to work or take with you when you're going on holidays. Now, this is a melt warmer. For those of you that may not want to work with a flame, you can use a melt warmer or a wax warmer, as they're called in some countries. This is an electric one. This enables you to leave it going after you've written your list. I always put it on a coaster as well. Put your list in between you and the coaster. And you can use it in exactly the same way as you would a candle. But the difference with a wax warmer is you can leave it going and the fragrance can go all through the house or through the office. You can leave that going all day and then just turn it off at the end of the day. About half a teaspoon of wax out of your candle is appropriate for that. I always say that you can buy these here in Australia for under $20. I did have an actual look this week. They're $15, so they're cheaper than what I thought. They're definitely under $20, and they're a very worthwhile investment. I have a couple going. I usually have one going in my office with protection in it. Every time that I do psychic work, I put another half teaspoon of protection in there before I start my day's work, and that's my little point of focus with my meditation. Then out in the dining room where I do a lot of my office-type work, I have another wax warmer going or a candle going with whatever I may be working on for the week. So that's just working with candles, and you can get those at our website, www.amandahallpsychic.com.au. Don't forget to type in the word radio at the checkout and you will get a discount. We do offer free postage here in Australia, but for our overseas family, we can only offer a flat fee. So if you want a couple of items, save your pennies up and order them all in one go, and you'll get the flat fee of postage. So we're going to move along now very quickly with our astrology feature of the week, where I've been featuring entertainers or singers particularly. This week we're up to the female of Virgo, and it was interesting to find that there were so many to choose from, but Pink just jumped out at me. I'm a big fan of Pink. I think she's an amazing role model for young women. She's nearly 40. She's 38, turning 39 this year. An amazing young woman who really did set a point of difference in the world where, she dared to be different, to step out of the monotone sort of stereotypes of how they perceive female entertainers should be. When I did the research on Pink, she's always been a very different, outspoken young person, even from a very, very young age. She started songwriting in her teenage years as a way to express her feelings and her emotions, particularly after her parents divorced. And it was, from reading some of the things that I read, that, at times there she had a very dark, dim view on the world. But this was a very healthy, positive way of her being able to express and work through those emotions. Some people aren't clever enough to be songwriters, but they can put it down in a journal or a notebook or something like that. So I really do encourage people to work with that. I think she's been a great role model in that way. Look, she's a dancer, she's a singer, she's an entertainer, she's been acting, she does lots of beautiful things, and, she's had some amazing experiences with her music, too many accolades to mention. But one of the things that I think people don't really know much about Pink is that she's very much an animal activist, and she really does stand behind what she believes in that way, that she doesn't like to see cruelty to animals, and she thinks that we should all start to take some responsibility for the planet, and not just human beings, but for the plants, for the animals, for the other things that share the world with us. So for her to be such an outspoken young person on many of these serious issues, I think it gives us some hope that future generations still will be passionate about the things that us oldies have been passionate about for a long time. So for young women that are looking for a role model to look up to, Pink's your girl. So we're going to take our very first caller now, and it's Tammy in Lake Cree Nation at, I don't think, Scatchetown. I'm not even going to pretend to try and pronounce it. I know you're in Canada, and I apologise, Tammy. How can I help you?
Yeah.
You there, Tammy?
Yeah.
How can I help you tonight, sweetie? Do you have a question for me?
I don't know. I just wanted a free reading, I guess.
How I like to work, Tammy, is if you've got a question that I can answer for you, that would be amazing.
I just want to know if I'll ever get on the right path. A sober...
What, in your life?
Yes, and if me and Carly Sandfly are going to be getting anywhere in our life together.
Okay, Tammy. All right, the first thing that I'm picking up is I think there's a number of question marks sitting around you at the moment, Tammy. I'm seeing 3 in particular. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that, that your whole life's in disarray. What it means to me is you're questioning things. Now, I feel when we start to question things, that's a healthy sign that we're ready to embrace change. We're ready to make some points of difference in our life because we realise where we've come from and what we've been doing is now completed, and we're ready to open doors up to new experiences and new horizons. So that's good. I also sort of feel, Tammy, that it's now time that you've got to put yourself first. You've been too busy running around looking after everybody else and making sure that everybody else's needs are met, and yours have always sort of come somewhere way down the list. Well, we've got to reverse that. We've got to put Tammy first. Have you been sort of working towards changing your job, Tammy?
Have I what?
Been working towards making a change of job?
Yes, I have been trying my best.
Okay, because the first thing that's coming up around you...
I have been trying my best, but it's not working.
Okay, but you need to be sort of focusing on that first. We need to get the job situation right. Once we've got the job situation right, whether it's either settle down in the one that you've got or find yourself something that makes you happier, once we've got that resolved, then I think we're going to look at where you're living. I'm not necessarily seeing a move, but what I am seeing is making some changes to the home that you're in. It may be as simple as changing a set of drapes or moving the couch to a different position, but it's sort of like changing the energy will help start changing your life. I think towards the end of this year, the early part of 2019, we'll see you find love. And it will be love that will be very satisfying and very grown up. But I'm going to say to you, Tammy, I think it's somebody that from your past, I don't know that you necessarily had a relationship with them before, but I do feel that you know them or they feel familiar. They're not completely brand new to you. It may not have been anybody that you ever had a love interest in before, but now that, life's changed and you're both, more mature and whatever, you find now that the connection is very different to what it was when you were back in high school. So I feel the next 6 to 12 months, Tammy, will see some massive changes in your life. So I hope that's been of help to you, sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your call. We're going to move on now to Zelda in Nashville, Tennessee. Are you there, Zelda?
I am. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm very well, sweetie. How can I help you?
I work in the financial field, and I'm doing very well. However, the last 6 months has really stunk. I have worked for this company for the last 20 years, and everything is going good. And then all of a sudden, banks say they send out payments. They never arrive. And it's not only for me, but it's some close clients as well. And I'm just wondering, do you see, and of course my CEO is waiting for an invitation to go to Europe to finalize a transaction. Do you see a breakthrough with this pretty soon before I go broke?
Yeah, look, I do think you'll get some of your money. I don't know that you're going to get all of your money, Zelda.
Okay.
I think it's time to start looking at what other options are out there, because what I'm sort of seeing here is there's something has changed in the way that the company has structured things. Their philosophy, their energy or whatever has changed in this last 18 months. And it's like things aren't working the way that they should because of the changes that they've made. Now, I don't want to see you get into a position that you feel that you should stay there just out of loyalty because it's been good to you and you've made money and, it's given you a certain sort of lifestyle, and that you feel that you'd be letting the side down if you've decided to jump ship now because things aren't quite as good as they could be. Darling, you've got to look after yourself. They're not going to show you the same sort of loyalty as you're going to the bankruptcy court. They're not going to turn around and say to you, well, here's a couple of thousand to prevent you getting there, are they? So, it's time to start looking after you. Look, you'll get probably 75% of what's owed to you, but it's not coming in one big lump. That's the problem. It's coming in sort of like progressive payments, and that's not good enough to me. They owe you this money, they owe other people money, and I think it's now time to start sort of seriously looking at your other options. I feel that there could be a change of company or a really serious consideration of change of company as early as September.
Okay, well, this is very interesting because I am one of the partners in the company. And from what I'm seeing, it's more of the banking system than it is with the, them paying us. Basically, it's returns on investments, and it's our bankers who say that they send out they're sending out the funds, and we have confirmation from bank officers. Like one sent it out 2 weeks ago, but it just hasn't arrived at our attorney and at the client attorney. So I don't know if there's something blocking. Obviously, the first thing I do is I look inward and I think, am I doing something that is blocking this?
No, it's not you. It's something technical there. There's something technical there. Okay. Now, when they showed it to me as the company has changed the way that it's sort of like their philosophy of the company is, maybe what they were presenting to me was the bankers, like the people that are financing
I think that's
things.
what it is, yes.
Yeah, so that's what maybe needs to change. So maybe after we do get these funds through, then maybe I've got to look at, as a company as a whole, at how we structure this better for the future, because you can't keep having this happening. You're going to lose valuable clients if this continues to happen. So it's nothing that you're doing wrong.
Okay.
But I do think we've got to get on top of this very, very quickly. They can send you all the confirmation slips they like, but until that money hits the bank account, it hasn't been finalised. So we need to sort of quickly get onto this. There's something there that's not sort of right. In this modern technology ways of, computer scamming and all this sort of stuff and people losing things and cyber criminals and that, I wouldn't leave this too long. I mean, I think you really need to act on this very, very quickly. I do think the money can be recovered. I think that's the most important thing. The money can be recovered, and it will be, but it's going to be tricky. But I do think we seriously need to be looking at some changes as early as September of how we either put things in place that this can't ever happen again, or hopefully can't ever happen again, or do we need to look at different, you know, financial arrangements with different banks? Maybe this is not the right fit now.
Okay, all right. Do you see travel for my CEO coming? He's out of California. He's to be going to Europe. He's been delayed for some personal things that he's got going on, but do you see travel for him soon, an invitation for him soon to finalize some things?
Yeah, look, I do think his trip is going to be very successful. I know that it's been personal things that have delayed him, but I'm going to say, Zelda, these delays were designed by fate too. You know, these little obstacles were put into his path so that when he does actually get to Europe, the actual trip will turn out better than it would have if he'd gone when originally planned. So it's a good thing.
I think you're right on that. Okay. All right, perfect. One more thing. Do you see a move for me soon? I'm thinking about moving out of state and leaving a very abusive relationship. What do you think on that?
Oh, look, I think you better do that like yesterday. I don't think you better delay that one. As soon as you've got, you know, everything's clear that you can do it, as soon as you've got enough money to get out of there, I'd be out of there. I wouldn't be worrying about trying to make sure everything was perfect. I think you need to do that for yourself.
I will do that. Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Amanda. And I so do appreciate you look so lovely in your little red frock and your little bling. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zelda. It's lovely to talk to you, sweetie. Good luck with your move.
Okay.
Well, we've come to the end of the show again, so I hope that you've enjoyed what we've been able to present here in our last half hour. I'll be over on Facebook Live directly after this show doing a mini workshop on the sun sign of Leo. So if you want to join me over there on the Amanda Hall page, you're more than welcome. Next week, we'll have our trip around the universe. We'll have our Simply Tarot card of the week. We'll also have our featured candle of the week. So I hope that you can join us again next week. And until next week, be kind to each other and don't forget to please keep Greece and California in our prayers for all those families that are doing it so tough. It's a very, very difficult time in their lives and they really do need our energy and support. And make sure that you really do spend time with the people that you love and don't forget to tell them you love them and how important they are. Love does make the world go round. It's far more important than money. And if you've got love and your health, you've got everything. Money's just a means to an end. It's not the thing that makes you happy. So bye for now. Until next week. Happy Leo time.
Hi, I'm Faye, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air, Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hello. My name is Sarah Manning, and I am A1R Psychic radio station. I am absolutely ecstatic, thrilled, every amazing good word you can think of. That is me today. I am so blessed to be here. I just want to, this being my first show, I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown of who I am. I am currently living in Vernon, British Columbia. I was based out of Alberta. I have been a full-time medium and psychic for the past 4 years. began my journey about 2013, and I haven't looked back ever since. I'm very blessed to be with amazing family, amazing clients, and I just I live an amazing life. And what you see here is pretty much how I always am. I'm very energetic. I'm super happy, always excitable. I tell it like it is. I do my best to give as many messages from spirit, from loved ones, whoever comes forward. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I have 3 dogs. They're always interesting. First, I'm also married to an amazing man named Colin. We've been married for 13 years. He is my biggest fan, my biggest supporter, and I couldn't ask for a better cheerleader even. Sorry, honey, I called you a cheerleader, but I can't help it because that's what he is. I have an amazing family that's still in Alberta. I have some family here in BC, but this is pretty much me. So I am just super excited to be here. I can't thank A1 Radio, Psychic Radio, for bringing me on board enough. And I'm just excited to touch base with all of you guys. So I'm totally told Dave, my producer, that I would be 5 minutes, but I'm ready to have a caller anytime. If anybody ever has any questions for me, you're more than welcome to ask me. You can find me on Facebook at Sarah Manning Spiritual Medium. You have lots of ways to connect with me there, through email, through Facebook messaging, all of that. This is the way I want you to come reach me when I'm on the radio, is through A1 Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. Yay! I'm excited. So anytime anybody wants to, is here to talk with me, I am here. Love and light is my catchphrase. I have to thank my cousin, Marie, who was kind enough to help me name the radio show, because I was like, what am I going to call it? I just don't want it to be just Sarah Manning. And she came up, she's like, this is your catchphrase, use it. So that's what I'm doing. It's really hot here right now in Vernon. If anybody's in the BC area, I hope that your homes are all safe. I pray that you're all good, because there's lots of fires around. Let's see, what else can I tell you about myself? Oh, I'm 36. I knew that I was a medium more so when I was in my 30s, just because I didn't grow up believing in spirit. I am ready for callers anytime. This is really cool. I wish you guys would see. Goldie in Raven, Virginia. Hi, Goldie.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing real good.
Thank you so much for being my very first caller. I am so excited to connect with you today. Yay! What did you do with your day today?
I went out, and in the lowest rain, we have rain where we live at, a lot of rain.
Oh, can you send some rain up here? We really need it.
Oh, I tried to.
Awesome. Thank you. So Goldie, I am a medium and I am a psychic as well. So I just, when I do things like this, it's just kind of whatever happens. However, has your dad passed?
Yeah, my dad and my mom both.
Okay. Well, your dad is the very first in. And in fact, I knew that I was going to be connecting a father and daughter today, because as I was getting ready, I just kept hearing, you're going to talk to my daughter. Can you just say hi to her? And I just wasn't sure who it was. But as soon as I heard your voice, I was like, this is my dad, where dad is. Dad, Goldie, did he have a very easy smile? Like, he just smiles so nicely.
Oh, yes, he always smiled. Never, everybody. He loved everybody.
And I want to give him a really big hug. He must have given the best hugs. Is that right? Does that make sense as well?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, perfect. So whenever loved ones talk, they always talk about the funniest things, but I never filter. I always give whatever they get. He shows me corn on the cob. Did he really love corn?
Yes.
Okay, so this stuff just to validate that it's really them and it's personalized. Your dad had very beautiful eyes, and he shows me the color blue. Did he have blue eyes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, he just really wants you to know that he loves you. He's like, tell my girl I love her. And he wants you to know, too, that he's with you. And he makes me feel like you feel him more at night than at any time. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So again, he's telling me that just so that you know that it is actually him that you're feeling. And he keeps showing me the stars, and he's like, everybody that's around you, everybody that you miss is just up in the stars. And every time you look up at them, know that they love you back in return. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes,
okay, perfect. Do you have any questions for your dad?
No, not really. Me and my dad wasn't really close because I was like 16 years old before I even knew who he was.
Okay. I would just tell you the fact that he's coming in today is just to let you know that his love is still there and really strong for you. And even though it's been so long since he's passed, he's definitely never left you. Does that make sense?
Yes. That makes
okay, perfect. I'm just going to quickly do a card reading for you as well, if that's okay, Goldie.
Okay.
Okay. You just tell me when you want me to stop shuffling, and I'll pull the card out for you as you say that.
Okay. Now.
Okay. Perfect. So what I have for you is the Mountain card. And what the Mountain card is it just tells me that there's a lot going on in your life where you're feeling very much like, I would say that you have felt over the years that your life is always an uphill battle. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes, I agree.
Okay. The thing about a mountain is, and I know sometimes, and I totally understand feeling overwhelmed or feeling like we're always having to go uphill, is the higher you go, the better the view is. Have you ever hiked a mountain before, Goldie?
Yes, we live in the mountain part.
Oh, you live in the mountains. Oh, even better. I love it. So, when you hike up in the mountain, the view gets better and it gets clearer. I would remind you that even though you always feel like you're going on an uphill battle, to enjoy the view that you have in your current life, enjoy where it is, and there's always things to be grateful for, always things to appreciate in those moments. Even in the toughest moments, there's something that we can be grateful for, even if it's the fact that we have two hands or we have 2 feet, something as simple as that. And then when we show that gratitude and we vibrate it out, the universe, brings more blessings in, because that way it's we just attract even more beautiful things. And it's interesting because as I say that, I feel like you do have a very appreciative heart. And sometimes you're like, well, I do appreciate everything I have. So what is going on? What's the disconnect that is making it so that I'm thankful and I'm appreciative, but I'm still dealing with all of this hardship? Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. So, and I totally get that. I totally understand it. And I think sometimes what we need to do is we just need to remember that life isn't doing things personal to us. It's just giving us lessons, ideas for us to grow. But I bet if you looked back on your life from, let's look back 5 years ago when you were going through a lot of heartache and troubles and stuff like that. And yet you look back now and you're like, oh, I totally see why I had to go through that, because it pushed me into meeting this person. And then this all happened. So it all kind of flows, even we were stressed out and really upset that we were going through that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry, I totally cut you off there. I'm sorry about that. Do you have any questions in general that I can help you with?
Yes. Mom passed this February. And it's just like she went into the hospital that night. The next evening, she died. And I felt like, it was my fault that she died, because she had a DNR, but they still had to do the CPR and stuff on her, but she didn't want that. And it was just unsettling. It's still unsettling to me.
Okay. I had a little bit of a hard time hearing you, but I think you said, was that about you said that was about your mom, is that correct?
Yes. She died in February.
Oh, Goldie, I'm so sorry for your loss, and especially since it's so fresh.
Yeah, see, my sister died 2 years ago, my only sister, and then my mom, so I'm the only one left.
Oh, Goldie, I'm so sorry. I'm sending you tons of love. I just want to, when our loved ones pass very unexpectedly, and as I sit here and I'm talking to you about this, your mom was in some ways, not all of them, but in some ways, I feel like she was a very private person. Would that make sense?
She was. Yeah. Oh, yes. She would never show her pain or nothing.
Okay. So the interesting thing is the message that I get from her is very much, I wouldn't have wanted you to remember me passing. Not that she didn't want you to be there, but just the memory that you would have pulled and the memory that you would have replayed in your mind of her passing. She's like, I didn't want you to have that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, she always called for me to be there because, I was the only one left.
And at the same time, it's a memory. Like, I just feel like it was such a traumatic, traumatic's not the right word, but it was such an unexpected thing with how everything was handled. I think, I just want to tell you, I feel like it would have, the memory of having to deal with all of that would have been really, really hard for you. So she's like, I get it. I know that we would have wanted to hold hands and I would have wanted to say, I love you. But at the same time, it's okay. I've found peace. And she just wants you to find peace as well. And the other thing too, is she's like, mornings are the most difficult for you when in regards to her passing. Is that correct?
Yes. Okay. I mourn. The more when I go to take flowers, that's when I feel guilty. I feel like, well, it's my fault.
And it's totally not. And that's why she's, that's how I knew about the mornings being difficult and stuff, because she's the one telling me, and she's like, I just want her to find peace. Find peace with that, and that her giving you that validation, because you're her. She's like, we were so close. You were very close with your mom, right?
Oh, yes. I took her to the doctor, took her shopping. And she couldn't breathe. Her lungs was almost gone. So I was there.
Okay. So that's why, she's like, we were so close, and that's what I want her to remember, and that's what she needs to find peace with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Well, Goldie, it was such a pleasure chatting with you. I'm going to go to the next caller now, but thank you so much for being part of my first show. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You mean a lot to me.
You're very welcome. Love and light to you. Bye, Goldie.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I think if I saw correctly, we have, I think it was Cecile. All right, sorry, I'm just going to wait for her. Hi, how are you?
Hi, it's Cecily.
Hi, Cecily. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am good, thank you. I see you're calling from Michigan. I have family in Michigan, so I love it. So yeah, thank you so much for being part of my very first show. I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to, before, I just kind of let things happen as they happen when I'm doing live shows. So if anybody comes forward with a message for you, I'm definitely going to give it to you. But for now, I'm just going to jump into cards. So
okay.
Oh, hang on. I was going to tell you to get me to stop when you were ready, but a card flew out. So when a card flies out, I kind of just trust it and I go with it. And I kind of find it interesting because I know that Michigan gets some really good storms, and that's actually what we have today. We have storm fields. Now, a lot of people, when they see storm fields, they're like, oh my God, what does that mean? What's going to happen? It's not necessarily a bad thing because...
Okay, I love storms, though.
Oh, yay! Okay, I love it. I'm glad you love storms. I love storms. That's one thing. I used to live in London, Ontario, and that's one thing that I really miss. Yeah, is those.
We had a really strong storm last night.
Oh, did you? Awesome! I love it.
Yeah, even a tornado warning and sirens, like take cover type of thing. So it was nice.
Okay. I don't like those kind of storms. I don't like the thunders or like the tornado storm warning, but at the same time, I do enjoy the cracking of the thunder. That's exciting. The one thing that comes with this card to me is there's a lot of everything's up in the air for you right now. I feel like your whole being almost is just kind of like, I don't know where my next step is. I'm not sure quite where to go forward. And I feel like just everything's up in the air. Would that make sense for you?
Completely.
Okay, here's the exciting thing about the Storm Fields card. And I actually love this card because there's a lot of people that are like, oh my God, what does that mean? Everything. Because I'm not sure if you can see, but there's like a house in here and then this scary tornado, right? So it's like, oh, that's a little crazy. What does that mean? The thing about Storm Fields is it's very much about this is a time in your life where you get to decide what you want to have happen. So the other thing that I want to remind you is you have a very strong foundation under you. You have a good support system. You have friends. You have family that are there to help you. But you have to remember to ask them for that support. And that's not necessarily just being present with you, but it's like when you're starting to talk like down, like this isn't possible, you're going to comment to them and they're going to be like, no, you can do this, you can rock it out, look at everything you've been through, because you've come from like how do I word this, like I would not say your bed or your life has been a bed of roses. I just heard a little one. I would say that there's been a lot of like kind of weed pulling out of your garden of life. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and that's okay. That's okay. And I want you to know right now that you are not the only one that is in your shoes. And I totally know, oh, I need to slow down a little bit. Oh, I'm talking too fast. So I'll slow down a little bit so you can hear me better and everything. I have an amazing producer, Dave. He's doing a great job training me on my first show. I love it. But for you, Cecily, I would remind you that, you know, even when you look at other people and they seem to have their lives like all put together, trust me when I tell you they really don't. They are going through their own little storm, their own little like hiccups in life. And you just have to remember, like, they probably just don't want to broadcast what they're going through, right? Because they want to look put together. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah, this is crazy that you're hitting on that. Yeah,
that's what spirit does. That's what energy does. I love it. I love it. So again, back to your foundation. Remember, you know, when our friends tell us something or tell us, please tell me if you need help, or please know that I'm there for you, they're not telling you that to be like, you know, that outwardly. It. They want you to reach out to them. So make sure you take them up on that offer. And you're not a pain in the ass. I promise you, right?
Oh,
because
okay.
Well, you know how when we kind of get down and we want to get supported and we're like, yeah, but I don't want to bug my friends because they have their own stuff they're going through and they don't need me. They would honestly not offer that if they didn't mean it. And on the flip side, if you had a friend that was going through a lot, you would want them to contact you when they needed that kick in the butt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so same thing. You're worth it. You're worth their time. You're worth their energy, and they're telling you that for a reason. So the other thing that I would tell you is when we have a tornado go through, sometimes it can clear the top of the house off, but the foundation is there, good and strong. So you have that, but then what you have is you have the chance to rebuild amazing things. You have you have the ability to create the life that you want. And here's the other thing that a lot of people will say to themselves. They'll say, but I can't have that because I'm in this situation. I tell people all the time, stop saying that to yourself, because number one, Cecily, the other thing that I hear for you is you are a lot smarter than you're giving yourself credit for. Just because what your interest is, like I feel like you're interested in a field, but you feel like you don't have the experience or the education behind you. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm nursing.
Oh, that's exciting.
I've actually been trying to become a nurse for like 5 years. I've taken a few of the steps, but then things supposedly seem to stop me, you know.
Okay.
And I'm like right there.
Go for it. Go for it. Because, you know, here's the thing. Let's say after you do the nursing stuff, you're like, well, I thought this is what I wanted to do, but it's not really. going to be doors that are going to open up to you in ways that you just never thought possible. I don't know if in the States they have it, but in Canada we have these amazing new people called nurse practitioners that work directly one-on-one with patients.
They're like right under the doctors.
Yeah,
they're right under the doctors. They could run doctor office basically.
Oh, that is so cool. So is that something that interests you as being a nurse practitioner? Because I feel like you need that one-on-one interaction with people.
Yeah, I want to do it. I want to just keep moving because, you got to get your bachelor's and all that. But, I mean, it's not far-fetched. It's just things keep stopping me.
And I totally understand that, and that makes sense even more about the storm field. But the thing I want you to remember is, and this is a little bit of tough. Sometimes it's hard to hear, but please know I come at it with a lot of. Is we will only be stopped by that which we allow to stop us. So even in the most difficult, you know what? It's because our egos are like, oh, so you can't really do this. Or, okay, I'll be honest with you. Before I came on live, I literally called my husband today and was like, what was I thinking? Signing up for a radio show. Like, oh my God, I'm crazy. And he's like, Sarah, it's Facebook Live. You do this all the time. And he's like, get out of your ego. Don't let fear scare you, and don't let fear rob you from this amazing thing. He's like, just, have a good time. And I was like, oh, thank you, husband. That is why I married you.
That's good advice. That's real good advice.
It's so true. You are drawn to that profession for a reason. Trust it, honor it, move forward with it. And because every time you put it down, you can't walk away from it. You have to keep going back, and you are drawn to it. You are doing exactly what you should be. Know that you are going to help people in ways that you've never even imagined. And as I say that, I feel your excitement. Like you're just like, that's right, I am going to help people. I'm going to make people's lives better. And that's the whole reason why I'm getting involved in this. So definitely keep going. And so when I tell you that, when things change up in our lives and like things sometimes get shifted, don't fill it with filler. Fill it with things that are going to make your goals possible. And the other thing I want to tell you, the other thing I hear is when I just lost that. When you realize that you've been distracted for a little bit, don't beat yourself up. Don't be like, oh my God, that month I totally could have done stuff. Just be like, okay, obviously I needed a break. I am going to move forward, and I'm going to go. I'm going to move forward from this point on. And remember, every ability in your hands right now to make the life that you want, which includes the profession that you want. And I think you will be absolutely amazing at it. I'm so excited for you.
Me too.
Do you have any questions or anything at all?
No, I'm actually, normally I have questions, but I'm actually really satisfied with what you said. You're spot on.
Oh, yay. I'm so excited. That is so awesome.
I've never really had, a reading done. I've maybe one. It was a different way, but I've had one. So, this is spot on, and thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. No, I can't. I honestly really appreciate you taking time out of your day to call in, especially since it's my first show. It means the world. It really honestly means my show would be kind of, a little on the low side if nobody called in. So I really appreciate it.
Well, that's cool because I was just scrolling through Facebook and I'm in the group and I saw the post and I was like, let me see. And then boom, I got the inbox. So.
I love it. I love it. That is so awesome.
Well, yeah, that was spot on. That just helped me a lot. Appreciate
I'm so
that.
glad.
More
You
ways
are
than one.
so welcome. Awesome. Well, thank
You're
you
good.
so much. Thank you. Love and light to you. And thank you again for calling in. Thank you. You're welcome. So I have a few minutes left, so I'm super excited about it. I just want to, I really want to thank Goldie for calling in, Cecily for calling in. I want to thank Dave for being an amazing producer and helping me through my first show. I am so excited to be part of this. I will be live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's it. You are more than welcome to reach out to me through Facebook. It's Sarah Manning, Spiritual Medium, or email info@sarahsmanning.com. My website is www.sarahsmanning.com as well. I will thank you so much for joining me on A1R Psychic Radio as well as Moonstruck TV. It's been an amazing experience. Even though I was freaking out earlier today, I am so glad that I didn't turn my back on this amazing opportunity. So I look so forward to connecting and more of you to spirit, to your angels, to your guides, to your loved ones on the other side. It's been so fun. I can't wait. I know I still have time, so really quickly, 30 seconds. Okay, cool. Really quickly for everybody out there for the month of August, it is about cleaning house this month. It is about finding what no longer serves you, whether it's thoughts, beliefs, objects, people, clothes, even. Clean things out, guys, energetically as well as emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. It's Mercury retrograde, perfect time to do it. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in today, whether it was on my Facebook page or whether it was on the radio station. Thank you. I don't know what else to say other than I'm so excited. So thank you, Connie, for helping me do everything. Getting set up for everything as well. She's an amazing gal. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Everyone, this is Fiona, Persian Medium. I am Power, and of course, you are guys listening to Avid Advice Show. And as always, I have Angel Channel 888. Hello, Angel. How are you doing, hon?
I'm wonderful, darling. How about you?
You look fantastic. You look beautiful. I like the light. Everything looks really, really fantastic, and I love it.
Thank you, darling. So
awesome.
Do you. So what is new? What is going on lately? Things seem with this energy light.
Well, we have a lot of Mercury energies around. We have a lot of crazy things around. So like always. But the very nice topic that I want to talk about it today is like why we make up stories about people's lives. Why we don't know each other. We don't know even actually who they are, but we would love to just do some gossip and make up stories and having fun. Sometimes because of jealousy, sometimes because we feel that, we should do because we don't have anything else to do. Just, we are not focusing on our business. We don't care about our business, and that's why we just really cares about what others doing.
Right.
And kind of like why we have to even care what my neighbor doing. If my neighbor is successful, I'm happy for her and for him, and I will absolutely say good job. But if he or she actually indeed need me, I would love to be there for them as well and helping them. That's what means human. That's what means that when you give, you receive. So you can't make up stories about somebody's life that you don't even know. You can lies about people. Specifically, let's talk a little bit about kind of online, gossip or somehow that many things goes around the forums, which is, I'm aware about that. And that is not really nice. And as you know, that the freedom of speech, it's not what those people think, because if you write something, your name is not going to be anonymous anymore. So, right. And with subpoena, and they can exactly know who you are, and you have to absolutely say why you actually wrote these things. And if it's true, you have to come with the evidence. So right. That's why people should just really watch and be careful about what they're doing, especially with the dances and stuff that, that happened almost a couple months ago with the Yelp things. So, however, my feelings and my thoughts, it says always, hold yourself into what you are doing. Make sure that you are doing best. Find the best version of yourself. Try to help others, and stop make up stories because you are jealous, because you're uncomfortable, because you don't know what to do, or because you're restless, or because maybe you don't, or you didn't take your medicine.
Right. Our lives are a reflection of what we focus your energy on those good things. There's that truth in saying that this misery loves company. And so people who make up rumors or just gossip, talk about things where, or speak poorly or negatively about others, usually it is a reflection of the negative things or the lack of things that are going on in their own life. And correct. If you just refocus that onto something better, like you say, be happy for your friend's success or your neighbor's success, even a stranger's success, just be happy for them. And exactly. Your focus will be on, you get that success back in return. Instead of engaging in the negative aspects or finding enjoyment out of somebody else's misery, truly is something that just draws it back to you in some way. And I think a lot of people still have a misconception that they're protected through social media with the freedom of speech, but that really isn't. That's true. Not true. It's very easy to find out who you are. In fact. Exactly.
And that's and it's not nice. I mean, sending messages to each other, gossiping about each other, trying to make stories and have fun and making fun of each other, and kind of going to many forums and trying to kind of lash out and saying things that it's just not really. I mean, if you're a lady, you should never do that. You know? A lady, a beautiful lady that has manners and kind of knowing exactly what to do with her own life and business would never do that. Really. Please get life and do something about it. And if you have any depression, any problems, well, there's a tons of things you can do. And of course, you can call me and pay me $35 per minute that maybe I can hypnose you and tell you exactly who I am. And you may actually tell people the next day who I am. Right.
It is one of those things that will highlight the negative elements of you. If you're, people will easily actually catch on to seeing that, last time I talked to this person, they were gossiping, and again, they're gossiping and talking about rumors, that it really will highlight the negative elements of you and not the positive sides. And so spending that time talking about other people or trying to make them miserable is not something that is going to be of any kind of benefit to you, and is, it truly is very unladylike. And women especially notice that quickly. It makes them not trust you. When they see that you seem to always be only talking about other people and laughing at other people or trying to make them miserable, it really is going to change their perception of you, that you're just a gossiper. You like to engage in rumors and talking and laughing at people.
And especially when you make up stories, you know,
right?
When you don't even know the person and you make up stories about like, oh, I know this person for a long time, kind of like, oh, she has this and that problem. Oh, she called me and talked to me about it. Well, come on. I mean, I'm a $37 per minute psychic. I would never call any psychics and ask about anything. So then stop lying about that I'm calling and talking to the $3 or $4 or $5 and $6 psychic in any other places. So please stop it, because this is just getting funny and making me feel like, you know what, come on, stop it right away, because other than that, I have to, you know, engage you in something that maybe you guys naturally feel good about it. Well, let's just be positive now. I think that the whatever we are discussed about been loud and clear to everybody. And now we are back to studio. You are guys listening to Avid Advice Show, and I have Laura from Canada. Hello, Laura. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, gorgeous. We have Angel Channel 88 in the studio as well. And now I want you to give me your date of birth and tell me what you have in your beautiful mind and what I can do for you. Go ahead, hon.
Okay, so my son is 10 months old. He is the light of my life. And I believe family is always with us. When they died, they always said, we'll give you guys little signs and symbols that we're here. So anytime I feed my son, he's almost turning his head to look at somebody, but I don't know who. Can you tell me initials of that person that he sees?
Okay. The feelings that I have right now, it's actually telling me about kind of a very old name, kind of like traditional name, as I can really feel and sense it. And it and it started with maybe P as a Peter or actually W. And also they gave me on the pentagon the T as a Thomas. So, however, those names, Eric, Thomas, Peter, and also William, came in the middle of your son's pentagon. And sometimes, if you feel that he's talking to, it may not the relative or someone that maybe he specifically knows. Sometimes it's coming from behind. Sometimes it's the spirit, which is completely old spirit. It's just like your son is an old soul, and it's just talking to the soul in the past, and that's why you can feel and sense that he's seen things. He actually connects with the energies. The most important things, my love, is about like you always listen to him and ask him what he is seeing, and never ever feel like, yeah, maybe it's not correct, maybe kind of like it's just making it up, maybe my son has some problem, maybe I have to talk to the doctor. No. So your son
I don't believe in that either.
Exactly. So that's why I wanted you to always watch around. I wanted you to check. I wanted you to see exactly what's going on around. And all I want you to do, and all I want to really and absolutely want to make attention is just like when he saw or see those people around, specifically is it man or woman, what type of messages he's receiving, and also if he's okay with those messages.
Okay, because like I said, he's still too little to actually relay them to me. But I just know that he has somebody near him, and I thought it was maybe our family members.
It's not
primarily
because I see because I see that your son. I see the old soul, so he has an old soul. So that's what I can see. There's a spirit around him that talking to him and guiding him. I feel the man, which is kind of not heavy but tall, having actually the white shoulder. And also I see a woman, which is very tiny or skinny and kind of short. Those two, I can see that communicating and connecting with your son. And I see that sometimes actually he's, mixing in between the messages. All over I can see in the pentagon of him or the messages that I'm receiving right now, I feel extremely that he's connected to behind and he's connected to the unknown energies. Okay? and something as a Pam, like, you know, like it's just telling me about that skinny little girl, like shirt, and then again a tall man, white shoulder, and good-looking guy, middle-aged, is just telling me that is having the conversation with your son. And I feel that this is going to grow faster. I feel that your guy is going to get surprised when he's talking and telling you about things that you never thought that is going to just came up. So that's why I feel like watch around, see exactly what he's thinking and talking and whatever, you know, he's doing, and let just, you know, get things out from his heart, his mind, and let you guys know exactly what's going on. But he's definitely old soul.
Okay. Now, when I was pregnant with him, I had a dream that a little girl came to me and said, take care of my baby brother. Was I pregnant before him, or is he just my one and only pregnancy?
Oh, that's what actually I feel as well. So you never lost any children, correct? So like no miscarriage?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. Okay, so that's exactly what I can feel. Past life and also, you know, old soul. So your son being girl in the past life, and also old soul came again, maybe as a third, as a fourth time, actually to the earth. So congratulations. So you need to take care of him.
I was like, when Daddy were angry at each other, and I went, what? Like, I don't get it. And then I finally woke up and I cried because I found out I was having a boy the next week, and I was like, oh my God, was I pregnant before? I don't know.
It's completely normal with the actually kids with the old souls, which is actually born maybe a couple times and come to the earth, because they acting differently, they acting completely, and actually they showing a complete different connection. So Angel, do you have anything to add, my love?
Yeah. With that as well, because usually with children, you know, they're a lot more psychic and aware, which is why you notice that with his eyes. Because usually as well, like children, before they're able to vocalize and verbalize, you'll see that even if you put an object in front of him, his gaze may be slightly off from it. They're always going to focus a bit more on where there's more energy somewhere. And I think for you, you know, you feel like because many times family will visit children and things of that nature. But I think, especially for you, from your angel guides, they're telling me, you know, the main thing with this is knowing that he's very, very perceptive in that sense, that the key thing for you is really just to tune in, like, you know, does it feel good or light when I see that I feel like he is sensing something, you know, because he is a very, very old soul that has had many lifetimes. So he is going to know a lot more spirit-wise than we may just perceive in a logical sense.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't cry when he sees them. He actually just stops what he's doing, looks up like
that's awesome.
Take a seat. I'm like, take a seat. Like, he's having his breakfast, but grab a seat. It's fine. Like, we're just visiting, but you can join us. We don't care. There's more room at our table.
That's a real blessing. I mean, like, I'm very happy for you and your family. I do. And I kind of like really cares about like what you are telling me. And congratulations to having a beautiful angel that could go around and trying to send you a blessing. So try to be around him, love him more, and of course protect him as much as you can, because he will protect you guys, you know, and I feel good about everything. Back to studio, my love. I have a couple callers that just really waiting, and we don't have too much time. I have unfortunately say goodbye to you, but my love, if you want to talk to me, of course, me, Fiona, and Angel Channel 888, please go to avidadvice.com, and right now we offer 5 free minutes for new customer, and this offer is just going to be just for this week and weekend. So thank you so much. Have a great one. And now back to studio. And now I have another caller. The name is Shantare O. I think I said right. Shantare O. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Oh, good. Awesome, honey. So first of all, tell me if I said right. Shantara, or is it the right name or Shantara?
Santeria.
Cool. I got it. So somehow I get that. Okay, my love. We have not too many times, but too much time. So please give me your date of birth, baby, and then shoot your question. Go ahead, sweetheart.
April 12th, 1993. And I'm just asking a question, just a reading in general on, well, relationship or career.
Okay. Are you currently in any relationship? Or if yes, the name of the person? And if no, when was the last relationship you had?
It's current.
Okay. So, are you in a relationship right now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just check into that. Okay, what I think Angel actually trying to concentrate with angels and trying to channeling with her angel to trying to give you answer. I open your pentagon all the time too, trying to see exactly what I see. As far as I actually concerned about your pentagon, it sounds like that the guy that you mentioned or the person that you actually feel and connecting into right now, around the month of September, we're talking about the September 19th through actually the September 23rd. That's what I can see, that some sort of very strong movement will happen, will actually get into a strong, passionate, and very, very, very insure and secure relationship, which I can see will definitely happen after the September 19th through the 23rd. And also when it comes to your career, hon, I see also some movement. It will also happen around the end of August. I don't want you to push anywhere. I don't want you to be worried, because I can see a lot of worriness and kind of like a little bit wondering about a couple of things. I don't want you to do that. Just drop it right now, right away, and then wait. Because as far as I see, every single doors is just open through your career, money, wealth, success, anything that we can just name on. So now, Angel, I know that you're channeling with your angel as well. Please just help her as well to tell exactly what is going on. Go ahead, please.
Right. September is definitely a better month for you, is something that was coming up. That's where things start to feel a bit more, you'll get that sense from within that things are more into your favor, okay? Your angel guides really, really motioning, kind of like focus more on just sitting back and relaxing. There's this part of you that feels some kind of urgency, like thinking or feeling that you're stuck or cornered, that you must do something to help this along, kind of a thing. And truly they're saying, no, that's not necessary. Where you feel like things aren't going to move forward into a better direction for you with it, they're saying that energy is already moving now. It may not feel like it, but it is moving. You truly are not in a phase where your energy is stationary, okay? So it's more just a feeling as opposed to a reality when it comes to that. So you're actually in a cycle right now where the energy is actually moving very fast, but it's a bit on the wavy side, where it may at times make you feel a bit off kilter. But know that all this helps you propel you, where that really bright energy is showing up in September time for you. I feel like you're going to start to notice the effects of it more into the end of August time, but where you're really going to feel like, okay, this does feel different, and you're going to be able to give that acknowledgement inside that you're seeing that positive shift is going to be in September time. So that is something that's really, really good for you. So more so kick back and just relax for now, kind of a thing, and don't tell yourself that you must do anything. Kind of leave it all alone.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes we need to just leave it alone. We need to just kind of like meditate and focus on our well-being, and then think about like what I can do to trying to make things getting better, or actually find some places to get more energy, or kind of like ensure myself, secure myself, and feel good about myself somehow. That's exactly what I wanted you to do, because there is no wrong about your relationship. There is no wrong about, you know, the money flowing in your life or your career or anything. It sounds to be that you have everything under control, gorgeous. And that's all I wanted you to do, is just relax and then feel good about yourself. And of course, dream big as you can, and feel and sense it that you are going to receive. Ask and receive. We have not too many time, gorgeous. We have to say goodbye to you. But for your information, you guys can go to avidadvice.com, and we have 5 free minutes just for this week and weekend for the new customer. This is me, Fiona, Persian Medium I Am Power, and we have also Angel Channel 888. She's fantastic, she's very accurate, and she's awesome in many, many ways when you want to really channel in with Angel and trying to connect with Angel. So don't forget to sign up and receive your 5 free minutes to see exactly where you want to go, who you are, and what fantastically you are guys going to connect with anyone that you want in avidadvice.com. So Angel, do you have anything to add?
No, you guys, right now, just this is time, like, be outside, reconnect with nature, okay? Things in your life that aren't going right, if you step outside even for a couple minutes, that's like the biggest message I'm getting for most of the people listening. They're like, get them outside, okay?
Exactly. So now it's just 60 seconds, and this is Avid Advice Show, and you guys can find us on avidadvice.com. Have a great fun, and bye!
Bye!
Hi, I'm Jenny, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the Air, Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television.
Hey, welcome to Perry Lines. Hi, welcome to Perry Lines on A1R, New Psychic Radio Network, and I'm the celebrity New York City psychic. Not that I personally am a celebrity, but I know a lot of their secrets. Anyway, this is our first show, and it's Mercury retrograde. And as we all know, when Mercury goes retrograde, communications go haywire. So if you've noticed in your travel times that, the subway is breaking down, you live in a place with the subway. If you don't, the horse is breaking down. Mercury retrograde affects everything to do with communication. You're talking to a woman who's been trying to fix her Skype for so long that she didn't put on makeup for this, and I'm one vain girl. So today on Celebrity Psychic, what we're going to do is just knock everything over first. It's part of my process, and then we're going to be taking some calls. Now, one of the things that people ask the most about is love, because let's face it, love is a complete mystery, which is why there's so many songs written about love and so few about algebra or gardening. And people wonder, how can a psychic help? Well, there are a couple ways. One, we're damn psychics. Second, we can get a sort of perspective on your life that, maybe it's hard for you to get. I don't know about you, but I can give great advice, but when it comes to my own life, I'm like, Mom, help me. So if you're having love troubles, you're not alone. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been, since I was 5, actually. You can stop laughing now. Thanks. And one thing I've also found is that for some reason, tarot cards are a really great tool. It takes a lifetime to learn them and learn how to use them accurately. And our next show, we're going to be giving how to be psychic lessons. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff in the weeks ahead. So if you have any questions, I'm right here to take your calls, and got my trusty cards. And if you don't mind me not having makeup on, I don't mind you being honest with me. You ready? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. As we're waiting for technical difficulties to resolve, oh, I hear we have somebody from Canada on the line. Hi, honey. Can you hear me?
Hello.
What's your name?
Jolene?
Jolene,
Yeah.
like the song?
Yes.
Oh, my God. That's my favorite song and one of my favorite names. Hi, welcome. You're my first guest ever, and I'm just really happy to have you here. So, hi, where in Canada are you from?
Vancouver, BC.
Oh, cool. Oh, wish I was. So, how can I help you today? And first, before we start, I just want to ask for permission for me to contact your guides, to work with your guides and my guides, your angels and my angels, to give you the best possible reading. And I'm also just going to ask you to tell me your birthday. You don't have to tell me the date because I'm a girl and I don't do that.
February 29th.
Awesome, Pisces. Oh my gosh, you're a leap year baby.
Yes,
Holy
I am.
smokes, that's so special. I have a leap year goddaughter. That's incredible. And you're a fellow Pisces. Wow.
Yes.
I'm a Pisces too. I'm at the other end. 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Over here. Yeah. But so, okay. Do you have a specific question, or would you like me to just tell you a couple of things about yourself, and then you can ask a specific question?
I think right now my biggest question would probably be around the ending of my relationship with the father of my children recently.
Oh. I'm so sorry. Let me pull a couple of cards here. That's really difficult. I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Well, it looks like, you're an interesting, well, you'd have to be an interesting girl because you've got a great birthday.
Sorry?
I said you'd have to be an interesting girl because you got a great birthday and a really cool name. But what's interesting to me is that you seem to me to be part rebel and part, like, almost traditional. Like, you have extremes on both sides. Not a lot of middle going on there, which is fine because middle is not that interesting. And it seems like what you wanted with him was stability, marriage, commitment, responsibility. And I think I'm about to burst into tears. I think you gave him all the chances to step up to the plate, to be responsible.
Yeah.
And I think you believed in the man you saw he was,
Yeah.
And you did everything you could to help him be the man you saw him as. And unfortunately, every time he got to be that man, it was outside of his comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? It was like he got scared and ran for the hills. And I'm so sorry because you deserve better. You're going to get better. But I wish I could take the pain away from you right now and give it to, I've got a list of people I'd like to. But so that looks to me like the main thing, that just this struggle to have somebody live up to their potential, fulfill their responsibilities, and act, whether you're married or not, act like a husband and father. However, it does seem we've got the devil card covering this whole situation, which says to me there might be an addiction of some kind, not with you, but possibly with him. Or in his case, I'm going to say a couple of cross addictions. You deserve so much better than this. And you are going to get it.
Thank you.
And it just seems like I call this this is the obstacle card, which is also the transformation card. So what seemed like the obstacle, right? Which is that you were always, this guy is always like fighting for the cause. He's fighting for the right. He's fighting for the good thing. But there comes a moment when you have to realize, like, I'm just, it's me against 500 trolls. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So for you, I think the hardest thing was to have this mature realization that you could not fix him and understand that he couldn't change, and to walk away. And that the courage to do that and the strength to do that, that obstacle, that pain, is also what is, even right now, transforming your life. I think you're on the verge of a huge transformation. If you went back to school, I wouldn't be surprised. If you decided to expand in some of your talents, you have a natural healing talent. You're very good at like administrative work. I don't mean something boring. I mean, like, you can really do that stuff, right?
Yes.
I have ADD the way China has people, so I really respect anybody who can remember, like, to wear matching shoes, for instance. So you're really good at that. And also, you have leadership ability, which is fascinating. Yes. You really do. Now, this guy looks to me like he might have been, let me just see, well, you've got a lot of men around you, honey. No wonder you wrote that song.
Yeah, I've got a lot of,
Auburn hair and eyes are green. What's that song? I can't remember how the song goes, but so you have a lot of people waiting in the wings, you know, waiting off stage to bring you flowers. But right now you've got the Tower card as the foundation of the situation. When the Tower card appears, even when it appears upside down, so it's not quite so bad. Let's face it, that's not a good card. But it means, especially when it's upside down, it just means that old structures that weren't serving you anymore are getting taken away for your own good. This higher power sees your potential and sees how hard you've worked and sees what a good mom you have. 3 kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually had a miscarriage yesterday.
We're going to take another caller. I'm new at this. What I want to tell you really quickly, contact me privately and I'll give you like a free 15-minute follow-up. I just want you to know that, A, you're going to be okay. One of your children is diagnosed with something that seems like a disability, but is actually not. So I just want to say that it's something that's going to serve, I think it's a him, in later life. You also, there is already somebody in the picture who really wants, I would go with the Virgo, the Capricorn, or the Taurus if I were you. There's a guy, one of the many men circling you is that. And I would also really be brave about believing in yourself, because your potential is off the charts. Off the charts. Aww. I don't say stuff like that unless I mean it. And I'm always right. So get back in touch with us. I'm on Wednesday.
I will, for sure.
And please do, because I really, really care about how you're doing. God bless you, dear. Mwah.
God, thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Thanks. And who do we have up next?
Hello.
Hi, honey. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. What's your name?
Michelle.
Oh, that's pretty. Is that a slight accent I hear there?
No, ma'am.
Oh, North Carolina. So it's a little. I heard a little melody in that voice, honey. So, what's your question today about, darling?
Just anything, honey.
Okay, baby.
Whatever you say or pick up.
It's so nice to hear your voice. You have a beautiful voice. Now, just tell me your birthday. You don't have to tell me the date. You don't tell me yours. I won't tell you mine. So, what's your birthday?
November 28th.
Oh, that's a great day. I have so many friends with that day. It's nice to have a birthday around Thanksgiving, too, because...
Yeah.
All right. You spell Michelle, I know it's a crazy question, but you spell Michelle with 1 L or 2?
2.
Great. I think that's the only way to spell it. And will you quickly give me permission to have your guides and my guides, your angels and my angels, work together to give you a really helpful, loving reading?
Yes.
Good. I mean, you could say no, but then we can talk about boys' makeup and stuff. But my feeling is that the thing that is scaring you right now is actually the thing that is healing you. I think because you have a you're very sensitive to music. you're a really sensitive person. You are one sensitive person. And that sometimes can make it hard for you to deal with the outside world. And that thing that seems to get in your way is what makes you beautiful and special. And I feel like there's somebody you want who maybe this hasn't worked out yet. I don't get the feeling you're with somebody right now. Is that right?
You got the feeling that what?
I think your love life is a little confusing right now. I think there's somebody you have your eye on. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're not sure how he feels about you or if he feels about you?
Yes.
Because you're very shy and he's very outgoing. Is that correct?
No, we've been together, but we're separated at the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I think I was picking up on is that it seems like a time in his life when he doesn't want to be tied down. And that's kind of by outgoing. Sorry, sometimes my guides can be a little...
He is outgoing.
What's that, honey?
He is outgoing.
I'm sorry, one more time, baby.
He is an outgoing person.
He is an outgoing person. Okay. Well, what I'm getting for you is that for you, you're feeling, you want to know if he'll come back, as we all do. The answer to that is yes, not soon. But I do think the one thing, when he's his real self and he's with you, right? You guys feel like home to each other. And, you know, he can go out tomcatting and he can go, you know, there's always going to be somebody else for boys to look at because boys are kind of built that way. Bless them. But with you, the thing that he gets is understanding. The first card I got for you was about the sign Cancer, which is the sign Cancer is about home, understanding, nurturing, protecting. And, you know, it feels like that you're always the person he comes back to in times of need. And I feel like it's hard not to be hurt right now while he's out and about. And I feel like maybe there are a couple other girls in the picture. And maybe he's not being straight with you about that. And I'm sorry. But I think by the end of August, say probably around September 7th to 15th, his functions are going to change. And first of all, you're allowed to cry your eyes out for a week without any judgment.
Do what?
But then the most attractive thing you can do right now, because the next card is this one. This card is about happy endings. This card is about relationships. This card is about people who belong together. But sometimes boys have to go out and just ride their horses around the sunset a bit. So, you know what I'm saying? Also, he doesn't like being financially responsible for other people. He can get a little resentful about that. But he's very driven. But he really, I will tell you, and I'm almost surprised to say this is the foundation card for this relationship. This is one of the cards I like to see the most for people. Because this card is about, my lighting's falling again. This card is the real happiness card. This is the, like, I went through the fire, you know, I got hit by lightning, and at the end of it, see those 9 golden cups? Those are the cups of earned happiness. Happiness that you deserve, happiness you've earned. So between now and around when I think he's going to be poking his head back in the door, what I would ask you to do, get a little notebook and write down, make a list of the things that make you the happiest. You have kids?
Okay.
Yeah. What?
Do I have what?
Children? They're like adults, smaller. Yeah. I think that you give so much to your kids and you gave so much to this man that I think one thing is you've lost a little touch with your creative side. You're somebody, I said before, you're somebody who loves music. You're somebody who's very sensitive. And I think you need to be a little selfish, you know? Be nice to yourself. Because you know how it is. The busier we get with our own lives, the less time we have for the boys. That's when the boys get interested. And there's one possibility you haven't thought about, which is when he comes back, you might be occupied elsewhere. Because you have a lot of talents you don't even know about. You've been taking care of everybody. You took care of your mom. You took care of your family. You take care of all your friends. I mean, you probably take care of me if I would shut up for a second. And that's a beautiful quality. You need to use that for yourself now. But yeah, he'll be coming back, but I'm not sure you'll want him. So go spend some time and some little money and some love on yourself. Because God knows you've done it for everybody else. Okay?
Yeah.
So keep calling in. I really care about how you're doing.
Okay.
I got some ideas for you for next time, okay?
Okay.
All right, beautiful. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night. Hi, who we got? Hello? Oh, well, guys, that was really quick. I want to thank Dave, our producer, who has put up with everything. I'd like to thank my home producer and partner, a different Dave. And most of all, I'd really like to thank you guys for tuning in, letting me talk to you, intimate part of your lives, and letting me reflect back the love.
Good evening. How are you? Welcome to the Vibe Channel. I'm Angel Confetti, your hostess for the evening, and I'm so glad that you are joining me. I hope you had a wonderful week so far. I don't know where the time flies from. I swear, from Thursday to Thursday, it just seems like it skips over like 2 days time for me. It's because I think I look so forward to it that I'm just waiting. So I'm so glad to be here. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little discombobulated today. And I think we should all really be honest about how we feel when people ask us all the time, we're so inclined to just say, I'm good, thanks, because we want to be polite. We think people don't really care. They don't need to know what's going on. And, you don't have to go into your life story, but I think it's okay to say, you know what? I've had better days, not feeling that great today. Who can't relate, right? I mean, everybody has those days. Everybody's under the weather. Or at some point, everybody has a really difficult day when things just don't go as they had hoped. And that's okay. That's how we can connect on a more human level, by being honest. But my question I'd really like to talk about today is, of course we want to be open and honest, but when is the right time to be honest, and when is the right time to hold your tongue, right? And not open your mouth? Because I think we can all agree that there are also times that we should really just zip it, that we should not open our mouths. There's just not time to go into things, right? And I think a lot of us are brought up believing that it's okay to tell a little white lie in certain circumstances. But I think sometimes it's just better not to say anything at all. Because sometimes if you look at a situation, there's oftentimes spiritually that if you have a problem with somebody or something, or there's an issue that you want to approach or communicate to somebody, I think you really need to look at the situation as, well, is this an issue with them, or is this an issue with me? And I bring this up because there was a situation this past week with somebody that I really love and care about. And I always want to be open and honest with them in my relationship with them. I never want to hold anything back, but at the same time, I admit I have faults just like we all do. And sometimes I tend to nitpick a little too much at this person. Sometimes I tend to get a little too emotional with this person and open up a little too much when maybe I shouldn't. And it's good to always express your feelings and your emotions. And if something really is bothering you that they are doing that they can fix, or they may not be aware of, or is something that they do routinely that triggers you, it's okay to open up and explain that to them so that you can have a good open communication. But sometimes you also need to stop and look at the situation and say, now, is this them? Is this their problem? Are they the cause of the problem? Or is this me? Because in every situation that bothers us, more often than not, if you're bothered by something, it's because of something that's been triggered from your past, from earlier in your life when you were a child or a young adult. And because of this, we can oftentimes get aggravated and triggered by people and things that they do, and we think it's them. We think it's them aggravating us. We think they're being inconsiderate or insensitive with the things they're saying or doing. But if you were outside as a third party looking in at that situation and watching it with unattached emotions, you would probably see that it's not them, and that you're the one that's being really sensitive. And this particular person did something, and I snapped at them. I came right out and told them, you know what, when you do that, it really gets on my nerves. It really aggravates me. I wish you'd stop and think before you do that. And after I stopped to think about it for a little bit, I realized, wait a minute, I've said this to them before. Why does this continue to trigger me? And when you really stop and ask yourself those deeper questions, a lot of times you'll realize someone in your past did that to you under a different set of circumstances with different intentions at that time that really hurt you. And if you think about it and you ask yourself, well, what is this new person, this recent person that we're dealing with? What's their intentions? Are they really doing this to aggravate me, or are they really being insensitive? And oftentimes the answer is no. It's not. They're not at all. So once I had a chance to really look at that and analyze that, I realized it was myself that was being the problem. And I really should have just kept my mouth shut at that point, because I was bringing up and causing an issue now on that person after they had a really difficult day at work, after they had already had some issues that were, not the greatest. It wasn't the greatest day already for them. And then they come and spend time with me, and I kind of took my own problems out on them. And it really wasn't fair. And I think that more often than not, this can be the case in a lot of our relationship issues. But it's not always the case, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't speak up, because you should. If there's something that really bothers you that somebody routinely does, or you can tell that they're doing something out of ill intent or being very selfish, then you should stand your ground, stand in your truth, and ask them if you can talk about it like an adult, maturely, and to sit down and discuss and explain to them, this bothers me when you do this, and I don't know why, but can we work on finding a way to avoid this happening in the future so that it doesn't upset me or trigger me? And you might be surprised, because that person might realize something in themselves at that moment if you're compassionate about the way that you say it, if you're sensitive and say it with love. They may just surprise you and apologize and accept full responsibility and change it and prevent it from happening again. But I just really want to encourage you to always stop before you jump at somebody or a situation. And ask yourself, it may only take a half a second to ask yourself, is this something that triggers me a lot? Is this something that I tend to get upset over with multiple people? Is this something that's really worth the fight over? And you should also choose your battles wisely, because if we all voiced our opinion nonstop and expressed every little thing that annoyed us, this wouldn't be a very loving world, would it? I mean, we could all really get on each other's nerves. So we really need to learn how to not bottle it up, not keep it all inside, but, those little things that aren't worth the big discussion, aren't worth ruining somebody else's day over, you don't need to bottle that up and not work through it. That's something that those things are the little ones that you can work through on your own, in private, behind closed doors, through meditation, through exercise, through writing, singing, music, being out in nature, different outlets that help cleanse you, help you go deeper and look at your inner self and why these things aggravate you or bother you. So I just really realized this week, I've realized it before, but it was just really reiterated to me this week by Spirit that I needed to really, yes, always be open and honest, and it's okay to be open and honest, but look at the things that you're talking about and see how they're going to affect others around you, and ask yourself, is this a problem with them, or is this really a problem with inside of me? Because too often most of us tend to lash out at the other person or bring something up before we take the time to realize that a lot of times it's us. They're not the problem, but we are. But we need to be humble enough to admit that, so that we can have better relationships and we can help make the rest of the world's relationships and days much better. If we all look at things like this, things will get a lot easier with your relationships. So that's something I'm still working on, far from perfect with, but felt the need to pass that along to you, because I think we can all use that advice. And they reminded me this week that that's something I definitely need to continue to work on, and I will. So because I'm a little bit under the weather, I would like to take a couple of callers, but I am going to definitely use the cards, just because when I'm not 100%, it helps me by using the cards. It helps inspire me more and bring the message through more clearly, because I can see the message directly in the book, and then that helps trigger the things that my intuition bring through from Spirit. So I'm still going to give you an intuitive reading, but using the cards will help aid that this week, rather than just doing it with just my intuition and abilities. So I'd like to go to our first caller, and it looks like we have Eileen from Gilbert, Arizona on the line. Are you with us, Eileen?
Yes, I am with you.
Okay.
Yes,
hi,
I am.
Eileen. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, thanks. I appreciate you calling in.
I appreciate you giving me a read.
You are more than welcome. Is there anything particular you would like to know this evening?
Yes, one thing I'd like to know, a transaction was taken out of my bank account of $100. Was it my son that did it?
Okay. Here's what I'm hearing. Okay, Eileen, I'm going to go ahead, and I don't know if you heard right before I answered your call, but I'm a little under the weather, so I'm going to the cards. I am going to give you a definitive answer, but when it comes to something like this that is so sensitive, usually Spirit doesn't say yes or no because they want you to learn something from the experience. They will give you guidance. They will give you information to help you tune in to your own intuition and get that answer from within, and they will help you. But they're not going to directly give you an answer of this person did this or did not do it. Excuse me, because this is a life lesson that is supposed to be learned for some reason. I don't know what this issue is happening for, but these things always happen for a very important reason. We either need to learn something about the person that we are suspicious of and that relationship, or we need to learn something about ourselves. So let me definitely ask your spirit guides, and we'll see what they say, and hopefully they'll have some good guidance for you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm tuning into your spirit guides right now, and I'm asking them to please give Eileen guidance about this transaction that's in question. Please let her know what to do and think about who she believes is at fault for this transaction. Please let us know through the cards. Okay. Excuse me, this is a very large deck, so I have to split them up. I have one card already. And I believe they want me to take one more out for you. Okay, I believe that was it. And for some reason with me, they always fall on the ground, so excuse me while I grab them. Okay, now, as I said, Eileen, they never give a direct answer when it comes to something so sensitive. But I believe that you have very strong intuition. And I believe with these cards, you're going to be able to read between the lines, okay, without me saying, yes, he did or did not. So please let me read the message of the cards, and then I'll tell you anything that else comes through for you. This particular, the first one that jumped out is at the bottom. I'll raise it up here in case for people that are watching on Moonstruck TV. This card shows emotional loss. So I go to the book to see what that means. Now, please, as I read this, you need to take what it means to you. This card can mean a lot of things to different people, but what comes to you is the correct reading for you. You should get a strong resonation for what this means to you. Okay. Okay, this is a number 5 emotions card. It comes forth at a time when you may be experiencing or grieving a loss of some type with someone or something you are emotionally attached to. But honor your feelings and trust them. Only by healing and loving yourself and by letting go of these things that are happening can you continue your journey. The suffering associated with this loss delivers profound wisdom and knowledge. As I was saying, it happens for a reason. There's a lesson to be learned around this. And the book says this suffering associated with this loss delivers profound wisdom and knowledge for your soul. Your unique gifts, talents, and abilities, as well as your joy and sorrow, will not only make up who you really are, but better yet, who you will become through these types of occurrences. The painful experiences of life are equally as valuable as the joyous ones. So focus all your positive energy into this situation and don't focus on it as being a negative as much as it is. I know it's difficult, but try to see it as a positive event because it is going to help you find what you are grateful for. Use your healing energy in this way and try not to focus on what you've lost, for new beginnings and happiness are going to come right around the corner. Now they're telling me not to finish that until I read the next card. And they're saying that the titles on these cards don't necessarily mean the obvious, blatant wording that they are said on there. It can be symbolic of many things. It can be a loss of money. It can be a loss of a relationship. It can be a loss of that transaction, a loss of trust. It can be lots of things. But whatever comes to you is what it means as I read it. This second card is Heartache and Loss. Very similar title, but a little different meaning here. So let me turn to that page real quick. Page. Sorry, it takes me a second to get to the actual booklet number here. The meaning of this card revolves around, unfortunately, disappointment, sorrow, and even possibly some separation, which can cause upheaval and distress. It takes all the strength that you have at this moment in order to move past the pain and to heal your heart. The love that has been given to another should now be focused on you. Although you might look at this card as being negative, it can act as a tremendous catalyst, encouraging you to heal, forgive, and move on. The painful experiences of life are just as valuable as the joyous ones. You may not appreciate that sentiment at this challenging time, but life does have a way of pushing you forward, even though you may not always know the final destination. As you endure this period, learn not to dwell on it, but use your strong mental control to deal with your emotions, and have faith in knowing that you will get through this, as will everybody involved. So, Eileen, I know those are difficult cards, and I hope that at this point of hearing them, that you have a better idea of your answer.
I do. I do. Thank you.
You're welcome. But your spirit guides are really saying, try and act out of love and compassion, and think of the most important things. Honor yourself, honor your own feelings and your truth, and stand in them firm. But know that if you act out of love and compassion for yourself and the others involved, that you can and will get through this, and there's a reason for it, and you're both going to heal in a huge way. It's just going to take some time. I hope that helps, Eileen.
It does. It answers my question. Another one
good.
Is I'm working at this new job since May. Been putting in 16-hour days. Am I going to really benefit from this, or should I move on and look for another job?
Okay. Let me ask. I'm just going to draw one card for this real quick, because I have a feeling they're going to tell me pretty quickly, and then we'll see what comes through. So, is Eileen going to benefit from this? Or should she move on with her job? Okay, one card jumped out right away, and it's the Victory and Success card. Okay, I'll read that one really quickly for you. And I think they're telling me that that's going to sustain as the answer. They're telling me this card is the answer for sure. That I don't need much more than the answer of what's said in this book. It says, good news is on the way. The qualities of this positive card are completion, victory, and success that often follows a difficult period. So that even applies to what we were already discussing. Many people around you are very proud to see how you are triumphantly coming through everything, and they respect you and may even attempt to follow your example. You've worked hard and devoted much effort to get to this point in your life, and where you've become wiser and have grown in so many ways, always remember to stop and pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. So what I'm feeling is, as long as you're feeling like putting in that time and effort, Eileen, and you're still feeling like at heart this is a good idea, you're going to be successful. It's going to be worth it. I feel like the time and the energy you put in will definitely come through for you in a big way. But there's no right or wrong here. Not following through on that, not putting in that extra effort, you'll still be successful. They're just saying, yes, you can and will get what you've been working so hard for if you choose to go that route. Does that help?
Then I'll stick around. Yes, I will stick around. Okay. Another thing is because I'm putting in all these hours at work, I'm never home anymore.
Okay.
Do you foresee me getting a divorce?
Oh, well, to be honest with you, Eileen, I'm feeling some tension around there. I got to wrap up here in a minute just because we do have another caller on the line and we're getting close to being out of time. But I was just going to tell you what I do feel around that situation is that as long as you still put in the love and the effort to your marriage, as long as you are paying attention to the emotions of you and your partner, you actually can really make this work. But it's going to be extra effort on your part. You're really going to have to work at it. But it can work for sure. I think you guys can work it out. Okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Eileen. I hope that helps, and you have a great evening. Thank you so much for calling. Take care. Okay, that was a great call. I really appreciate her calling in, and we've got one more caller. We just have a few minutes, but I'd like to go to Anshal in Toronto. Is that how you pronounce your name, Anshal? Is Anshal still with us from Toronto? Okay. All right. We may have a little issue getting a hold of Anshal, but that's okay. I just want to go ahead and say something real quick about the previous call, and that is Spirit is a little reluctant at times to say, yes, somebody did something, no, they didn't, or yes, you're going to wind up in a divorce, or no, you're not, because we all still have free will, and things can change from day to day. While we do have fate and we do have a life plan in place for us, the future is malleable, and it can be changed. We just have to put ourselves in the position to make those choices to change it and make it work the way that we want, and we can manifest anything that we want. So that's why I stated things the way I did with Eileen. Okay, I think we have Anshal on now. Welcome. Are you here, Anshal? Am I pronouncing that correct? Did I pronounce it? Is it Anshal? Okay, yes. Great. Well, welcome. How are you this evening?
You. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. And do you have a specific question for me?
Yes, I do. Actually, I just got recently married. And
congratulations.
My husband is, thank you. And my husband is still in his home country. He's trying to complete his paperwork, move back here to Canada, join me.
Okay.
Just a few things are kind of, hanging up in the air for us, like, his paperwork, will he be able to move on time, and then his job. We're kind of starting everything new here. So I'm kind of little in the air. What's happening?
Yeah. So are you just looking for some overall direction on how things are going to work out for you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations. You definitely have a wonderful air and energy about you, and I'm feeling some really good energy about your relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a card very quickly because we don't have much time. I apologize that we're getting down to only the last few minutes, but I definitely want to give you some direction on that. So I'm just tuning into Anshal's guides and asking them for direction around her marriage and future with her husband and how things are going to go. Oh, and when one went flying, as they usually do. Okay, and they're telling me another one. Okay, and this is the one that they want. And it says balance. And it's a number 11 card. 11 is a very lucky number, a very good number to come up for you. But basically, I'm going to read this and tell you, I'm already feeling like they're telling me everything is going to be fine. You can make this work. It can be really a joyful time, but it's also going to be a difficult time that you're just going to have to work at finding balance in this situation and everything that comes up. So let me read the little message that comes with this. And it says, this card represents the need for balance and harmony within your inner life, as well as with the what's surrounding you in the physical world. This denotes that some lifestyle adjustments are required and are continuing to be made at this time, and it could be associated with your love and your relationships, even your career. And the balance card is being shown to you to make you realize that what you perceive to be happening around you is really an externalization of an inner process or conflict. It could even be from your fear that you are currently experiencing. That to make sure you don't put too much value into what how you're perceiving things to go, but try and take a step back and look at it from the outside picture, looking in, to see a different perspective, because your fear is going to drive you sometimes at making things look scarier and less balanced than they really are. And it says this card often will appear to let you know to have faith that you will triumph, and karma go hand in hand. So take only what you've earned, treat people fairly, and don't take advantage of anyone, and your karma will help bring everything back around to you full fold. So unfortunately, I only have a few seconds left, but I just wanted to tell you, I do feel like things are really going to work out for you. Just really be careful not to allow your fear and emotions to play into things. Just try and look at things in a faithful way and trust and believe that things will work out. And I know that sounds kind of general, but it really, really will. As long as you're just trying to keep things balanced and not letting your emotions get out of control, I think everything's going to go really well for you.
Okay. No, that's kind of insightful. Thank you.
Okay, you're so welcome. Thank you for calling in, and thank you to both callers this evening. Thank you, everyone that joined us. Again, it's time to go again already, but I'll be right back here next Thursday. Join me next time. I love you all. Find me on social media, Angel the Channel, and until next week, namaste, and don't forget to love one another. Take care. Bye-bye.
Island medium on, I don't know, let me see. Vancouver Island. So tonight, we've been running a contest for the last couple weeks, liking and sharing all kinds of good things. And so tonight, there was probably 40 to 60, maybe 80 entries in here. I don't know, I didn't count them. But there's all right here. Can you see them? So I'm going to pull one right now because we're just going to get this over and done with, and then we can move forward, right? Okay, hold on. And let's see, that one looks like a good one. Okay, let's put all of these back over here. And, now, I remember writing this name down. Chantel Pause. Chantel, Chantal, and Pause, Pauze. Chantel, congratulations. Next Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, you will join me right here on the Terry Lynn Boyle Show here at airpsychicradio.com, and we'll just talk for 30 minutes, you and me, okay? You get the whole show, just you and me, honey. Yay, Chantel, I look forward to it. I'll get in contact with you on Facebook. Okay, I wanted to get that out and over because I know that, I should have waited till the last. That's what a good marketer does, is wait till the last and people watch the whole show. I don't know. I figure you watch it anyway, right? If not, well, you're busy. I'll see you next week. But, so Chantel, I did it first, so now you better stick. Never mind. I'm just going to go forward here and move forward. I wanted to talk this week. I'm actually looking. There's something not right here. There it is. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Now I'm all settled. I was excited about that, the contest winner. I've been waiting all day to pull it, and it was just really exciting for me. So I'm pretty excited. It's my first contest winner, and the first time that I'll be able to dedicate the whole show to one person in a reading. So I think that's kind of cool. So how is your week? How is it going with Mercury in retrograde? I think it's in Leo this time. I'm not sure, but boy, oh boy, it's been a bit of a week for some of us. Hey, couple challenges here, couple challenges there. But, you know, it's okay, because these are lessons that we all need to learn. And someone, let me just read this message that I got today. This came from someone who said that they had read their cards and received a beautiful message that change comes in such strange ways. Now think about it, doesn't it? I mean, change. Sometimes we don't even realize we've changed. Other times we're sure that we've changed, but people keep telling us we haven't. So it's really